survive and thrive in business during chaotic times. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live, and this is a very special edition. We saw this is a 2021, January 6th, and we saw a very amazing display today that happened in Washington, D.C. A whole lot of things going on. One particular thing was people storming a closed Capitol building and one person getting shot by Capitol Police and so on and so forth. I'm not going to take sides or anything like that. We talked about controversy yesterday, and there's a time to be loud and proud about what you think. And sometimes you need to hold those cards close to your chest, and it's one of those times. I'm not going to get into that. It's a different conversation for a different place. I want to talk about you, though, as a business owner, is how do you handle situations in the outside world that appear absolutely chaotic. Now, if you don't pay a whole lot of attention to the news, and you don't pay a whole lot of attention to politics and everything else, then you're in a situation where you'll probably have found a way to isolate yourself from a lot of the chaos that goes on around us. And that's fine and good. But the typical person is going to run into that one way or the other. A business owner, if you're out there mixing it up with people, you're going to come across it. You're going to, one way or the other, it's going to find you. Chaos is going to find you at some point in your business career. And this advice I'd give to you is the advice I'd give to anyone, but I want to give it to you because of our relationship here. I meet with people on a nightly basis here through our podcasts, and we go through different ideas, sometimes strategies, sometimes principles, but I wanted to really zone in on this very human principle, and that's that you have to keep your head. You have to keep going. Now, just as a quick aside, not to be able to overshadow the principle that I want to talk about, but to pay the bills, go check out my book. If you want to know more about me and my perspective on business, 9 Ways to Amazon-Proof Your Business, you can get a free copy at amazonproofbook.com. Now, let me set that aside and go back to the point. It's all about keeping steady and paying attention to what matters right now in front of you and not letting everything from the outside destroy that. Because no matter what, the world is always going to be crazy. There's always going to be something going on that is going to try to draw your attention away. And sometimes that's important enough that it needs to draw your attention away from your business and what you're doing. And other times, much of the time, you got to keep focused on what you're working on. Because you're doing something here, you're changing the world, hopefully, with your products and services in whatever small way that you possibly can. And if that's the case, I'm going to recommend that you really stay emotionally balanced. And like I say, you really got to be grounded. You have to be grounded in reality. That's one of our main pillars here at brianjpombo.com. So I've read this one before, I believe, on our chats, and I think this is a great time to read it again. Regardless of which side you land on current political issues, or if you're watching this years in the future, doesn't matter where you're at right then. What matters is that you stay in control of you and what you can control in your environment. And this is a poem by Rudyard Kipling, and I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to try and do my best, and you can go and look this up. It's called If you haven't heard this one before. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build 'em up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they're gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son. So it's not a sexist thing. It's more about being a real person, is how I see it. It's all about holding your own, not going into far extremes. At least that's how I take it. Regardless of what you know or think about Rudyard Kipling, it's one of my favorite poems, and hopefully that means something to you. That's all I've got for tonight. We're going to be back tomorrow with another point having to do with a principle, a strategy, or a tactic that you can use directly in your business. You have a great night. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.